show, everybody. Joseph Robert, the Fantasy Football Counselor. Today we're talking about running back must-haves for Fantasy Football 2020. I've got a very special guest here today, and you guys know who he is. No introduction needed, but I will introduce him anyway. Chris CJ2K Johnson. What's going on, Chris?
What's up? What's up? Just chilling.
Man, the energy's high, man. Fantasy football's coming back, and I'm excited to have you, and I'm appreciative to have you on. One of my favorite players, and not only in fantasy, but reality. And I guess this goes without saying here, you still hold the record for most all-purpose yards, 2,509 yards. That was in 2009, where you had 2,006 rushing yards. And what did you have? 503 receiving yards. Am I right? Is this the record for all-purpose?
Yes, the record. Haven't been beat yet. 2,509.
Now
Still
I gotta.
standing strong.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, man.
Yeah, still standing strong. I'm not sure how many years. I think probably 10 years, 9 years, somewhere like that. Something.
Yeah, it's very hard to beat. Even Christian McCaffrey, I got to be honest with you. I'm going to be very brash and open with you. We're going to have an open discussion, keeping it real. Were you sweating for a little bit? I know we got to respect other people stepping up eventually. All records are meant to be broken. Were you kind of sweating a little bit? Christian McCaffrey, 2,392 all-purpose. Were you concerned that he could have broke it last year?
Yes, I would say like at the beginning, he had a very great season. But the numbers that he was putting up is like, whoa. But like once he got to the last 4 to 5 games in the pace that he needed to keep,
right?
When he was dropping under the pace, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different thing when you go in and it's like, okay, I need to average 150 yards a game to beat the record, and then this game I might get 120 yards, and that 150 may jump up to now you need to average 160 yards a game. But now he did his thing. You know, it was interesting to watch and to check him out, man. You know, I love football. I'm a football fanatic. So, you know, when these younger guys coming out here having those type of seasons and doing those type of things, man, it's something fun to watch because when I was playing and when I was doing it, it's like, okay, I'm doing it. But and I know the feeling of going out there every week, knowing that everybody's goal is to stop you and them still not being able to stop you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for me to be on the other side, like looking at it, it's interesting. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, man. We're going to talk about running back must-haves. We're going to dive into that. But again, we're going to ask you some personal questions or, questions a little bit about what you're kind of doing here and there. Before we get into that, also, guys, make sure, can you just shout out what website you are on? I've linked it below. What website can they find your product? Because you're an entrepreneur now, which I admire. Because a lot of people, I'm not going to name names, but a lot of players, after their career is done, that's kind of all they know. Whereas you've taken an entrepreneurial venture. You're building brands. You're building companies. Can you tell us a little bit of what you're building? And then I'll link it below. One of them is juice supplements, correct?
Yeah, one of them is juice supplements. My Instagram page is JPS Supplements _. That's my Instagram page. And you can also go to www.johnsonperformancesupplements.com to get all your supplements. I got a pre-workout supplement, and I also got a brain supplement for memory loss, help you focus, helps with anxiety, all those type of things. And it was crazy. Even me, I've been retired 2 years. This football season coming up will make 3 years. And it's just crazy because when you first finish, it's like, damn, I've been playing football my whole entire life. That's all I know. And now you're just done. What you gonna do next? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna lie, when I finished, I didn't just snap and I got all this shit going on. No, it took time, man. Brainstorming, a lot of grind, a lot of things I tried to get into and it just didn't work. It's gonna happen because it's just if I call you today and be like, you can't do this anymore, find something else to do.
Right.
You ain't just gonna be able to do nothing tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So it takes time. But saying all that, the grind, getting that situation going on, and now um, the supplement company is taking off because actually it's not just I came out with a supplement. I have a whole supplement company. So those products are not the only products that I'm going to be having. I'm also creating more products. I have 4 products. I started with 2 products, and I have 4 products under my line, and I'm going to continue to create products.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you, and I would tell you if I didn't believe in your product, but I can 100% agree and believe in your product because I've been using it for a year. I've been using your pre-workout, and it gives you that nice tingle. And my focus, it says tunnel vision on there. And I'm like, what is this? Is this a marketing gimmick? But no, it actually works. I've used it. It's phenomenal. When I don't use it, it's kind of like, I still have it's about my natural motivation, but it does give you that kick, and it's healthy. And I knock on wood, no side effects. And I'm very paranoid about what I put in my body. And man, I feel so good taking it, and the energy. I gotta tell you, I'm not blowing smoke on everybody's ass. It actually works. So yeah, the juice supplement pre-workout, and I've linked it below. Use promo code FFC to grab it below. So let's dive in here again. Phenomenal that you're on these entrepreneurial venture, because again, it's very hard to transition. Like you said, if I didn't have to do fantasy right now, I'd probably go to a 9-to-5 job, and I'd be very upset. And the unique thing is that what you're doing is somewhat in line with what you did, which is physical fitness and sports, which is your passion, which is a smart thing to do naturally as an entrepreneur. All right, so let's go on here. My first question, a lot of fantasy heads on here. Do you play fantasy football now that you're out of the league, or at all now?
I pay attention to it a little, but no, I never had a chance to play it because I still haven't got to the point where I fully understand the scoring system, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit, 100 yards. I don't know how many points you get for that. Touchdowns, I don't know how many points you get for it, but I know it's something that, like, the wave started, like, my second, third year of football. Like, I know it's been fantasy football. I heard about it before I got in the league, but when I got in the league, I feel like it went to the roof. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the unique thing. I think you're one of the guys that really elevated it to the trailblaze. I think we got a lot of history here because I'm trailblazing in the industry, and you're the guy that initially kicked it off. So thank you. You kind of brought guys on like me to do this. So yeah, you were there before I was really immersed as an ambassador. I started doing this in 2015. But yeah, I watched you during those seasons, man. That was phenomenal. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of confusing with the point scoring because there's different types of fantasy, and depends on how your commissioner sets it up. So, a touchdown is typically worth 6 points, but in some leagues it could be downgraded. When a quarterback throws the ball in for a touchdown, that's 4 points typically, but some leagues, rank it differently. Some leagues are point per reception when you catch the ball, some aren't. So I can see the confusion if you haven't played a lot. So yeah, man, maybe we'll get you into it, get you in a league maybe this year. Be interesting.
Yeah, I want to try it. Let me tell you a story.
Let's hear it.
A fantasy football story of mine. I still remember I was in college, and some guys, they asked me, do I want to be a part of fantasy football or whatever, this and that. Do I want to get a team? So I'm like, shit, man, I know football. I know I can pick a team. You know what I'm saying? That I can win. So, they do the draft or whatever, this and that, boom. So I think I'm like the fourth pick or whatever. I'm the 4th pick, out of everybody that's in the Woods Chicago.
Draft order.
Yeah, I'm 4th. Yeah. So we drafted, these guys are drafting running backs, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. I come in, how the hell, then when these guys drafted Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I drafted Peyton Manning my 1st pick. You know what I'm saying? So then we go through the season or whatever, and whatever. Like, I never knew that, quarterbacks are not, number 1 overall picks in fantasy football. Most people go for running backs.
That's
know
right.
What I'm saying?
It's a scarce position. Man. It's a scarce position.
Yeah. So if you think of it like that, why the hell running backs shouldn't be paid like quarterbacks?
Absolutely. And that's what I explained, guys. Link below, 16-round draft solution. Chris, I've created something called the draft solution where it's like I'm in a video training coaching you who to draft in each round. First ever and only video training. I've linked that below, guys. Make sure you grab the 16-round draft solution. This is my staple product. This is like your pre-workout drink. And it's honestly helped people crush it because a lot of people asked me, my friend Herschel last year, he's like, man, I'm in this fantasy league. Can you help me out? Why don't you tell me who to draft in each round? This was a couple years ago, actually. This is before I created it. He's like, man, I'm like, well, let me tell you, draft this guy, this guy, this guy. I'm like, shit, man, what a great idea. I can't beat everyone's draft, but I could put a video out explaining all the picks. And it's really taken off because the mainstream, they just give you the copy and paste rankings. This guy finished on top again. You got to draft him again this year. So, I'm kind of trailblazing in that end. So, guys, head over to thefantasyfootballcouncil.com and grab it. All right, so let's talk about the must-have running backs. I'll tell you the guys I like, and you can tell me if I'm crazy because usually I'm right. Because last year, everybody was down on Derrick Henry. They're like, Derrick Henry, he's not that good. He can't catch the ball. I'm like, listen, he had a mentor talk with Eddie George. He came on strong at the end of 2018. 2019, he is primed. Oh, you're nuts, Joe. Go Damian Williams, Joe. Joe, you're nuts. They should put you in a straitjacket. You don't know what you're talking about. And then Derrick Henry, man, absolutely dominates 2019 fantasy football. Counselor's right. What do you think of Derrick Henry? Is he a must-have this year, or do you see a decline, or does he still have that hunger in him? Because you know Derrick Henry, right? Where is his head
I know that. Yeah, it's crazy because I know Derrick Henry. I know him personally. And when we was going into, it wasn't, not this past season, the season before. And I went in, and they was trying to write Derrick Henry off. Say he's a big guy, he's soft, he don't run hard, all this type of stuff, right? So, I was in there, I had to talk with him. Like, my only thing with his game at that point in time was, I'm like, you so big, you so tall, like you don't understand how big this guy is to you next time. He's so tall. I'm like, bro, I know it's hard for you because you're so tall, but just try to run a little lower. You know what I'm saying? Get your pad level down a little bit, this and that. You know what I'm saying? But the same thing, like I told some people in the organization, and also I did an interview with Titans Radio, whatever it was, because I was in Tennessee before the game. I'm like, man, Derrick Henry is the type of running back where you can't, because the couple years before, they had other main guys. You know what I'm saying? So he's not a guy that you can just 2-3 carries, put him back in, second quarter, carry or two, just throw him in spurts. He's not that type of guy.
Right.
Derrick Henry is the type of guy, and even though we different body styles and all that, different style running backs, I feel like me and him was the same in this aspect where I'm not a guy that you can just give a couple carries here and no, you feed me. Know what I'm saying? Feed me. It may be the first quarter, second quarter, stats might not be looking as where they should be, but I guarantee you, before the game is over, is them, you going 150 yards, 200 rushing yards. And they're like, dang, where this comes from? Got to get in the groove. So I'm like, man, you got to feed the beast. Feed the beast.
Yeah.
Listen, you see, toward the end of that year, they went to feed them, went over 1,000 yards. And I think he only started maybe the last 10 games or something like that. Then the next year, you see what type of year he had. And if you look at those games that he was having, even the playoff games, feed the beast, feed the beast. And when you feed the beast, by the time third quarter comes, they're going to get tired of hitting Derrick Henry. He's so big. And he just, them easy, the runs that look like 1 or 2 yards, he falling for 5 and 6 yards.
Right. So is he a must-have for you for this season?
He's definitely a must-have.
Definitely. I agree, man. He's going to have a solid year. Attempts were there. He was number 1 in attempts last year, number 1 in rushing yards, I believe. But the hunger is still there. It's not like this guy's going to have a contract hangover, right? Like, he's still hungry. I feel he is.
I feel he's still hungry. But with like, I kind of that situation, the contract hangover. I kind of don't like that word because like I feel like the type of year Derrick Henry had, what he had, 1,500 yards.
Yeah, 1527, I believe, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me if Derrick Henry come have 1,200 yards, that was a hangover? He had a hangover.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean,
Like
some people
really?
lose it. Do you
Like,
feel that some people lose incentive though? There is some running backs, not so much him, but there is some guys that kind of lose. I'm in it for the money. And again, not all these guys, because I know a lot of you guys, it is passion, but I feel some people are in it for the image and for the popularity. And I think that once they get paid, they're like, fuck, I can cruise control now. I'm going to bring in some girls. I'm going to go party a little bit here. I'm going to buy the Rolls Royce, and then they lose that. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, more or less. You know?
yeah, some guys do, but yeah, you're right. Some guys do that, and then maybe come back next year, they got the big head, and they don't have a good year. Okay, that's a hangover. But
Right.
the reason why I ask you that is because I bring Derrick Henry up because he just got paid, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I say 1,200. We're gonna cross over a little bit to myself because I've heard that before about myself, right?
Right.
So I go for 2,006 yards. I
2009.
go for 503 receiving. So 2509.
Yeah.
Right? I come back the next year. 1,400 rushing yards, 300 receiving yards, somewhere in there, 1,700 total yards. How's that a hangover?
It's a phenomenal year. But the thing is, you've
I've
spoiled
damn, what's the
everybody.
word I'm looking for? I spoiled everybody with a 2,000-yard season, and I get it. Know what I'm saying? But you got to think, you can't expect for players to do. You can't expect for players to do that every single year. 2,000. Nobody has ever rushed for 2,000 yards twice in their career. Know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yeah, I get it. I've spoiled him with this year, and Derrick Henry spoiled a lot of people with the years he had. But he got to understand in his head, like, I might not have that type of year again ever in my career.
Right.
But I came to the fact where I understood, like, I may come back from 2,000 yards, or even after my 1,400 yard season, come back 1,200 yards, 1,300 yards, 1,100 yards. I do that. They say I lost a step. I did that. But another guy comes along and rushes 1,200 yards, and he top 3 running back in the league. Know what I'm saying? So it just comes with it.
It's kind of shallow. It's shallow, isn't it? Like, sorry to interrupt here, but let me explain something here, because everyone's high on Christian McCaffrey. And I get it. He had a great year, but the mainstream, this is where I differentiate with people. He had a phenomenal year. So I look at, okay, he's going to decline a bit, but who's going to come on top? And the guy I've got ahead of him this year is Saquon. The thing about it is, the mainstream think, okay, he had a phenomenal year last year. Let's draft him again in that order with the expectations that he's going to do similar to. No, it doesn't work like that. I think Priest Holmes was the only guy that's done it. 2002, 2003, where he had back-to-back #1 fantasy seasons. It's very rare. So yes, I always accommodate a decline for a guy off a pinnacle year, and I look and I scout out who could emerge above him, and I've currently got Saquon above CMC. Very viable.
Yeah, and that makes sense because sometimes it's not even just athletic ability or declining. It's like what you think these coaches do all off season. You got 31 teams game planning against CMC, like watching film, all that. We're not going to let that happen to us this year. Not only that, the coaches in Carolina might look at it like, yeah, CMC had 23, what it was, 23?
It was
all-purpose yards.
2392 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, so them coaches gonna go into the offseason, going into this, and they like, yeah, CMC had a great season. He had 23 all-purpose yards, but guess what? We didn't even make the playoffs. That's not the route we need to go to get to where we want to go ultimately.
Right.
Know what I'm saying? So they be like, shit, we got to take some of these touches from him and try to spread it out. Know what I'm saying? So he may go from 23 all-purpose yards to 1,600 all-purpose yards. But, you know, the coaches, it's one goal. We're trying to win the Super Bowl. So guess what? even though he went to 1,600, we may have had a better season with him having less touches and less yards. But guess what? He got paid and he fell off. That's what the people are gonna say.
Well, he had
Chris McCaffrey,
116 receptions. That's insane. He had more receptions than every other wide receiver except for Michael Thomas last year. That's insane. He's not going to get 116 receptions this year. It's just not going to happen.
You can't win like that. You can't win like that. Bro, I went for 2,500 all-purpose yards and we didn't make the playoffs.
Wow.
You can't win like that.
That's true.
I don't care what you say. Guess what? Coach is going to sit back and be like, let Christian do what he do. If y'all want to force feed him the ball, let him do what he do, long as we win the game. Know what I'm saying? We don't have to stop McCaffrey. All we have to do is slow him down, and we're going to win the games. At the end of the day, Chris McCaffrey can keep going for 2,300 all-purpose yards every single year. But guess what? That coach going to get fired because they never made the playoffs.
Absolutely true. They brought Robbie Anderson this year. That'll stretch the field out nicely, hopefully, for them.
But they let Cam go, man.
I know that's crazy, but I mean, I think they've got a good replacement. I don't want to sleep on Teddy. I think he's a good character, and I think he's going to be.
Teddy's a great player, great quarterback. But Cam, come on now.
I know, MVP special. I know.
You just don't get MVP and just not good anymore. I understand he's been hurt and this and that, but what you gonna do?
Yep.
What you gonna do? Even when the other guy came in, like, sure, you was force feeding McCaffrey the ball.
That's it.
Like, what do you want? That's what I'm saying. Like, what you want to do?
I got a question for you. What does the pressure feel like the year after that year? Like, in your mind, now that you've hit this bar, in your mind, are you thinking, I got to do it again? And that's a two-part question. Did you find the defenses were hunting you a little bit more? Did you feel the pressure of the defenses now that you're on their radar more the year after in 2010? How did that year feel after the pinnacle year?
It's crazy because after you have that type of year, in your mind, it's like, man, it kind of fucks up your mind, honestly, because you rush for 2,000 yards, 500 receiving, all this shit. In your mind, after a certain amount of games go past, like by the time you get to like week 8 or 9, in your mind, you can't be stopped. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Can't be stopped. Nobody stopped me all season. No one's haven't stopped me the whole season. So when you go into next year, it's like, damn, I did this. I want to do more. Like, so after I run 2,000 yards, I want to get 2,500 rushing yards.
Right.
Know what I'm saying? And I'm young-minded, not understanding, like, these coaches in here planning to stop me. They got all year planning, all season planning to stop me. Second of all, we didn't make the playoffs, so of course, I'm not finna get the same amount of touches. Third of all, if I want to have longevity in this league, I can't touch the ball this many times a year. Know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, damn, So then you go into the next year, like, know what I'm saying? You ready. But all of a sudden, it's like, I'm going against, down there every snap, I'm going against 8 men in the box.
Right.
And you can see it, like, I'm going against 8 men in the box every single game. And they know, like, we're playing Titans. And, in the off season and stuff, talking to other people around the league, friends, they tell you, they like, shit, we going to meet, and they like, shit, we start 2K and we going to win the game. So we going in that game plan. They're just like, anybody you play, you play the Lakers, you play Bulls with Jordan, you play whatever.
Yep.
What's the game plan? Stop Jordan.
Of course.
Stop LeBron, stop Kobe. You stop these guys, guess what? Our percentage of winning goes through the roof. So of course you come in here, you're gonna see it. Like you going down the pass route, you got a linebacker running out there with you, and you may have a lineman creeping out there with you. You being double teamed, playing running back. You coming through the line, they teach the lineman if you see him shooting through the nine on the route, grab him.
Yep.
Know what I'm saying? So you see it. So all the focus is on you. Know what I'm saying? So it's like it make it 10 times harder to have the same caliber of year. Know what I'm saying? Because all the focus is on you, unless you playing on a team where you got an all-star running back, an all-star quarterback, and an all-star receiver. Kansas City. There's no way you will ever be able to just put all your focus on one guy because they got so many different guys.
Right.
Know what I'm saying? They got so many different guys, so you can never just focus on one guy. Know what I'm saying? That's the only way.
Now, I did some mixed martial arts. So I'm not a professional athlete, obviously. I did some mixed martial arts, and when I got hit in the face, the only word that describes it is raw. You get hit with those 4-ounce gloves. It's raw. I kind of like, you're nervous when you're kind of getting in, and then when you're in it, you're just on autopilot. You're going, it's going, and it's you against that person, and the adrenaline's rushing. You don't really feel. Even when I was getting hit, they're like, doesn't that hurt? I'm like, no, it doesn't hurt when you get hit. Can you describe it? And I don't want to get back on the must-have running backs, but I'm kind of going off a tangent here, which is very interesting either way. Can you kind of describe? Okay, they hike the ball. You got 8 defenders. What's the feeling like? Are they, because we're just fantasy guys. We're just a bunch of nerds in front of a computer yelling at you guys like ignorant assholes. So to be honest with you, what does it feel like? Like, are these guys cursing at you, saying "fucking bring it, bitch"? What are they saying to you? Like, how does it feel? Can you guys give us an atmosphere of how it feels?
You definitely have those guys. You got some shit talkers. Then you got some guys that's quiet. Like, you might have Trey Palomalu who ain't gonna say a word all game.
Yeah.
Everything get up. Nice run, Chris. Appreciate playing against you. This and that. Then you got guys like Joy Porter who gonna talk all fucking game. You got guys like Ray Lewis who gonna hit you and pick you up and say, "I love you, young fella." All this, you know what I'm saying? So it's a different mix of emotion, but you still gotta understand. Even though those guys on defense and they're trying to hit me and I'm on offense, they still nervous. Cause they know if I get past this line of scrimmage, there ain't no catching. You know what I'm saying? So they still nervous. I don't want to be hit hard. I don't want to be hit. They want to hit me, but they still nervous. So it's kind of like the same because you got guys on offense.
Yeah.
Who talk shit too. Like, my offensive line, especially that 2000 year, we had a guy, Big Country David Stewart. Listen, he don't talk, but he gonna get down and dirty. He gonna get down and dirty. You got guys that receiver like Nate Washington, Kenny Britt. They can talk shit all game. Me, I ain't gonna really say much. I'm just playing. All that talking, I be want to save my energy and my breath, my wind.
That's good. All right, so let's get some must-haves here. Who is that early round running back must-have? I know you probably haven't studied the running back rankings, but who is a guy, Zeke, Henry, Kamara, Saquon, who is the guy that you feel is just going to have a great year this year that you got to have on your fantasy team if you played?
I'm going to give you 3 guys.
Okay.
No particular order, just 3 guys.
Perfect.
I'm going to say Zeke is a must-have. Saquon is a must-have. And this guy right here, I've been loving him since out of college. I've always been on him. Dalvin Cook is gonna be a year for him. I'm glad he didn't hold out.
See, this is where we're going to argue because I'm a Dalvin Cook hater. Not personally hating him, but for fantasy. Because he hasn't finished a season. So that bothers me. Like, to me, I don't trust him because of that, right?
Okay, so what you trust Saquon?
Yes.
How? The same shit.
Because he had a pinnacle year. He actually finished a season 2 years ago, 385 points.
He finished one season.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Okay, let me make another point here. Okay, don't you feel he's a bit of a system back? Madison did just Cook. No,
how?
Madison did just as good on 100 attempts, averaged 4.6 yards per carry in the same situation. Let me make another point here. We can have a debate here. Le'Veon Bell with the Steelers, similar to D'Angelo Williams and James Conner, performed well in that system. Ends up on the Jets, decline, right? So this is what I mean. I mean, Cook is a great player. There's no denying it, right?
Hold on. So do you feel like who you just said? That went to the Jets.
Bell.
So you feel like Bell is a system act?
He's good, but he's not as good as he's perceived. Similar to Odell. Odell was phenomenal when force-fed, but I said last year, Landry will outdo Odell. A lot of these guys, they've got phenomenal names, phenomenal marketing ability, but I just don't know if they're as good as advertised. I'm more of a humble-headed kind. Like I like your Julio Joneses over Antonio Brownses. I'm more of like
Julio is probably the best receiver in the league. But before you start, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
So, since you feel like Odell was force-fed, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, in New York, he got a lot of.
You feel like he was force-fed?
I don't know. I just think he's overrated. I think.
Okay, so do you feel like CMC was force-fed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not crazy on CMC though. I don't know what it is. I mean, he had a good season. I'm just not crazy on him. I don't know.
But if you fantasy football, how can you pass him up?
I don't know, man. I just think he had a pinnacle season. He's coming down. So I'm going Saquon. I was down on him last year. In a couple of games, he had like 7 points in one game and this and that. But anyway, I don't know. He's not going to have the same type of season. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I just don't trust Dalvin Cook. I don't. I mean, he could have a great year. Talent is there. He's hungry. But can he stay on the field? The durability has always been a question mark to me.
I feel like he's hungry because he want to get paid.
Right.
He's a great football player. I think he's a real good running back. I've been liking his style, and that's probably because I see some of myself in him with his own running scheme and stuff like that. But I feel like he's going to take care of his body much more this season because basically I feel like Minnesota know the type of bat they have. They don't want to see him go nowhere else. They're just waiting to see if he can stay healthy. I feel like if he can stay healthy.
Definitely. He's got the talent. He's got a great offense. Again, durability for me as a fantasy guy.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And this is the problem. So what I'll say is I'll say something like Dalvin Cook sucks, or I'll say another player sucks. And so many people get offended. And it's like, I don't really mean he's a phenomenal, he's in the NFL. Fuck, he's better than, he beat the shit out of me, right? In a race or any type of physical activity. Yeah. But from a fantasy perspective, I don't trust him. Odell, another guy drafted in the first round 3 years in a row. And I said, stay away. You got to be careful. And he busted 3 years in a row based on his average draft position. So that is kind of the whole thing that I'm trying to get people to wrap their head around. I'm like WWE. I'm like, what's up, brother? Like, you got to do, I'm just crazy. And it hacks attention. And the smart people, again, Joe's just being an idiot. He's being fun. He's having a good time. But other people take it personally. And it's, again, not a knock to the athlete at all. It's just, I personally wouldn't draft. It's kind of a shallow, fantasy football is very shallow and it's very into yourself. With your team, and we kind of treat players as objects, and I think some players are feeling that and the pressure this year. So, I hope you guys don't take it too personally. But
and that's the thing with us players, we don't understand fantasy football to the level that y'all do. So some of the stuff that a lot of people say, it can get to us because. It's just like you saying, you say Dalvin Cook suck, but how?
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? But he may suck on the fantasy football aspect, know what I'm saying? But we looking at it like, shit, this is our life. This is what we do.
Like I ripped into Carson Wentz. I was really pissed off when he got that $128 million deal. So I went on, I said, fuck, Carson Wentz doesn't deserve this. He hasn't finished a season. He hasn't put up fantasy points. Yeah, he deserves it to some degree, but dude hadn't been to a playoff game, hadn't done anything. So I was like, fuck. So Philly Eagles fans came in and just ripped me a new one. And I was battling with Philly fans. I'm like, dude, like, I want people to really earn it. Carson Wentz was, I think, paid prematurely. Then you got a guy like Dak who's done more, in my opinion, and I think is a better quarterback. And what's going on with him? Like, why don't they lock him down?
I got 3 things about that. Before I get on that, we're going to go on Carson Wentz. He got paid $128 million.
Yeah.
And he haven't finished the season, correct?
That bothers me.
And haven't been to the playoffs.
Nope.
Cam Newton made it to the Super Bowl, won MVP. He was hurt for 2 seasons, and they got rid of him.
It's BS.
And so you mean to tell me Wentz is a better quarterback than Cam, or he's like, that don't make sense. But I'm gonna get on to that.
Yeah.
The thing that I think about that is, yes, he put up these numbers and stuff like that. I just feel like they don't. I feel like they don't trust that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they. I don't feel like Cowboys think Dak can bring them the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That's what it is.
There is guys like that are just like above par, but they're not Russell Wilson. They're not Tom Brady. They're not these ultra. He's great, but he's not ultra. Like Tyrod Taylor, phenomenal athlete, but can he win them for you? I don't think he's the guy, right? So, even like Ryan Tannehill, another perfect example. Great player, can't really knock him, but I don't know if he's going to take him over the edge. So I think Dak is one of those players that gets it done, but won't get it done all the way. That's just, again, my opinion, right? So, yeah, I agree with that. So I don't want to get too much off on a tangent. Let's play a little game here because these guys are similar in average draft position. So Jacobs, by the way, Jacobs is another running back must-have here. Do you love Josh Jacobs this year? What are your thoughts on him? I met him at that draft where you and I met back when he was drafted. Yeah. I love him. I think character, personality, talent, offense, I'm a little suspect here. But what do you think of Josh Jacobs this year? Is he a guy you must have, or what are your thoughts?
If my must-haves is Zeke, Saquon, and Dalvin, I'm not gonna say he's a must-have. I can't put him on that level.
Okay.
Like, what is this, Josh? What are you going on, year 2?
Year 2.
Yeah, can't put him on that level. He had 1 year.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Let's play a little game. This guy or that guy, and they're pretty much similar ADP. Kamara's a little higher. Alvin Kamara, Josh Jacobs. Who would you rather have?
Kamara.
Okay, Zeke. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna put you.
Is this hold on now? This fantasy or this real life?
Fantasy.
Okay, Kamara.
Okay, Zeke or Henry?
Damn.
That's a tough one. I knew I wanted to stump you on one.
I gotta stick with my home. I gotta stick with my home team. I gotta go with Henry. I gotta go Derrick.
Is Pollard going to be an issue for Zeke this year? Is he going to be integrated more in the passing game, you think?
No, he won't be an issue.
No, not worried? No, Zeke will get the volume. Okay. All right. This is a good one here, and please don't underestimate the power of David Johnson because he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. Gurley or David Johnson? It's a tough one.
I gotta go Gurley with this one.
Fair enough. Yeah, he's got the slight edge.
I'm looking at the whole offense. I'm not just saying one versus each other because they both had down years. I'm looking at the whole offense. David Johnson is going to Houston where they just traded away their best receiver.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Gurley is going to Atlanta where they got Julio Jones.
Yep. Gurley. All right, that's a good answer. All right, this is a tough one here because we don't know. This is an unknown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Miles Sanders? This is a tough one.
How?
Which one?
How is it a tough one?
Well, because Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a rookie. You don't know what to expect. How's his pass protection? Is he going to be the full?
You got to go Clyde. He's playing in the Kansas City Chiefs offense.
But Miles Sanders is hungry, and they're saying that he's going to get 300 touches this year. I don't know. Yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire has a higher ceiling for sure. I can agree with that.
Definitely got that. I'm just saying, you got too many guys over there, man. You playing with Mahomes. You playing with Mahomes over there, like. And then not only just that, the guy who was supposed to win Super Bowl MVP opted out this year.
Right.
He may never get his shot again.
Damian Williams.
Damian Williams. He may never get, like, I understand. I don't knock anybody with the pandemic.
Yeah.
All that stuff is crazy right now. But from what I know, correct me if I'm wrong, this is what, third year?
For Williams, I think he's more like third to fourth. He didn't do much.
Yeah, but basically he's still on his first contract.
Yeah.
Correct?
I believe so.
Yeah. So yeah, so you on your first contract. You trying to get to number 2. That's the name of the game. Get to your second contract. You know what I'm saying? Your first contract, you get drafted in the NFL. You making good. You're gonna make some good money. You're gonna make more than the regular person in the world. Second contract, you're set for life. Basically, if it's good enough, you got a good agent.
It's a tough situation with Williams because I'm all about playing. I don't like the opting out. That's why I said, what a lion, James Conner. But with Williams, yeah, I talked to another Chiefs guy. I said the exact same thing with you. He kind of basically shot himself in the foot. This is really going to hurt him because Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to take the shine and then it's kind of game over. But in his defense, I really feel for him because I think it's his mom. I think she had some cancer or something where I think she had something where she's really ill. And it's like mom or career, and it's like family first. That's where I.
Yeah, you're right. See, I never knew about that.
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking, never knowing about that.
Okay.
I'm speaking on straight football facts.
Yeah.
Not knowing about mom, but listen.
That's tough.
It's tough. But if I'm in that same situation, honestly, you know, I got to make this decision. You know, I still got to help my mom out. So guess what?
Financial.
I got to go play so I can set my mom up, my family up.
Yep.
Life. Know what I'm saying? So anything you do, if you want to be great, and I don't want nobody to take my stuff out of context or any of that shit. Like cancer, that is wild. Like it's nothing. Know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, if you want to be great at something, if you want to succeed at something, you have to take sacrifices.
I agree.
And it may have to be, hey, I might have to take a sacrifice where I can't see my mom and be around my mom for 5 months.
Right.
How long the season is? September, October, November, December, January. 5 months. Can't be around my mom for 5 months. I might have to take, if I was making that sacrifice, I might have to take it, but I don't know the stages that she had of cancer. I don't know if she battling it or what. I'm not sure. But I just feel like on the football aspect, I think he shot himself in the foot because I'm pretty sure this probably is his contract year. And by him doing that, the rookie is his job. It's easy. It's his job.
Man, I'm getting teary-eyed here. I didn't really know this either, but he says he's dealing with a family matter. I'm reading it, diagnosed with stage 4, so that was his decision. He said it was really tough for him, and he went back. He says his mom is his rock, and he had a really hard time making. I feel for the guy, man. Stage 4. Yeah. I mean, my heart bleeds for this guy. That's terrible.
Yeah, stage 4 is like, I get it. I get it. That's why I say sometimes, like, that's even like with fantasy guys or reporters and stuff, they come out with these stories and say this, and they really don't know the fact, all the facts. So yes, if stage 4 cancer, that's pretty much like almost full blown. Like, so yes, there's no way that I know my mom was stage 4.
I'd be doing the same thing as him.
I'd be doing the same thing. I know I probably, if she passed away, I know I never probably get to see her again. There's no way I stay away from her for 5 months.
I know for losing my dad, I would give this all up for 5 minutes with him. So, you know what I mean? I'd give up my account because I can rebuild this. Will he be able to come back? Maybe, but I hope he does. I hope he comes back. He comes back.
Yeah, I hope he is able to come back. I hope this don't hurt him. I hope what he did in the Super Bowl give him a good chance to hit free agency. Because the Chiefs not going to pay him. They got too many people they got to pay.
Yeah.
So hopefully he hit free agency and get a good deal. But, you know, to Damian, I would have did the same thing. In that situation, I would have did the same thing. Now that I know the facts, I can really speak on it. And I would have did the same thing that he's doing right now.
Well, I appreciate you, man, for coming on. One last question here. One more rookie running back that you like. There's A.J. Dillon for the Packers. There's Cam Akers for the Rams. There's Jonathan Taylor for the Colts. Who is really going to emerge out of those? Zach Moss from the Buffalo Bills. What other rookie running back, not Clyde Edwards-Helaire, do you think is going to really step up this year?
I think Jonathan Taylor.
He's a beast.
And I'm surprised he went so late. A guy that had those many 2,000-yard seasons. Like, I'm surprised he went so late. But Man, I think he's gonna have a good year. I think he's gonna be a sleeper out of the rookies. I think he's going to a good situation with Phillip going over there.
Yep.
I'm not sure if they're gonna be. I'm not sure if they're gonna be using some of the same plays that he was using in San Diego with the Chargers or whatever. But I know all the running backs that played with Phillip Rivers, they was also very involved in the passing game
Right.
as well. And I think Jonathan is good with that.
Yeah, he
I
has
think
some
he's a good.
knocks. He has some knocks with the passing. They said Marlon Mack is set to start. This is what Frank Wright said. Marlon Mack to start, but they will ride the hot hand, and I think Taylor will be the hot hand eventually. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think so eventually. See, with him, he probably wasn't as good as splitting him out wide receiver with the passing game. But in college, I seen him catch some some swing routes, some screen plays, that type of passing game. I think he's gonna be all right. He kind of what's your guy name that held out for San Diego?
Eckler, Melvin.
Huh?
Are you talking running back?
Yeah, running back.
Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon. When he was in San Diego, they used him a lot, like with the swing routes and the dunk passes and the screen plays and stuff like that. I can see Jonathan Taylor doing those type of things over there in Indy.
Yep, good old line there too. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, I don't want to hold you up too much. Phenomenal. This actually went better than I thought. There was a lot of really good insight here. I thought it would be just more of a cookie cutter, who do you like, this guy? And we got to dive in, had a heart-to-heart, dove in. And again, what I value about you, obviously you've been in the NFL, so that's a pinnacle thing. Anyone who make the NFL, that's an accomplishment and feat on its own. But the fact that you, again, broke some records is just it's a phenomenal. One last question, actually. This is I meant to ask this. I'm glad I didn't forget. You in your prime in a race. Okay, you ready for this one? And you got to be honest here. And I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. In a race, okay, a foot race versus Tyreek Hill, 40-yard dash. Who wins in your prime?
Me, of course.
That's a good answer.
Man. In my prime, like for real, like. And I'm glad you asked me that because I want to touch on this. I'm glad you asked me that. How much do Tyree Hill weigh?
I don't know. He's a lightweight, man. I don't know exactly. He's a muscular dude. He's short and muscular.
He's short and muscular, but we all know those short and muscular. He probably 100. If I was 170 pounds, I have 12 abs cut everywhere. Bro, I was a 200 pounds, 30 pounds heavier than these guys.
Right.
And still had the fastest 40.
He just raced Mecole Hardman and beat him, but I mean, it's Mecole Hardman. You're faster than Hardman.
Yeah, Mecole Hardman probably 150 pounds.
He's a lightweight.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how? It don't even make sense. How can you say this? Is what I don't understand when people go to talking about the fastest players in NFL history. The fastest player can who be who in prime. I had the fastest 40-yard time for 10 years. He ran a 40. His even stopwatch, he ran his 40 stopwatch at Pro Day. Mine was electronic. Everybody know electronic time is way more accurate than stopwatch.
Right.
He don't have a faster 40 than me, so how can that even be a debate? He weighed 30 pounds lighter than me. How can that be a debate?
He's just so fast now. I had to ask it. Like, he's a bullet right now.
Okay, have the people that's debating this, have they watched my film?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not. No, I just thought I'd ask that for fun here because everybody.
No, I'm not just saying to you. I'm just talking about to everybody who asks this question because when I get on social media, I hear it all the time, ask the question all the time, this and that. How can only person that can ever say they're faster than me is John Ross because they gave him a record.
Right.
But guess what? John Ross is 150 pounds. I weigh 50 more pounds than him. And he's so-called beat it by 422 out of 424 when 50 more pounds heavier. And on top of that, how can besides him, anybody else, how can you even say who's faster? That's what we have 40 times.
Yeah, facts state that you are. It's just that right now with the recency bias, because everyone talks about Tyreek Hill, he's just kind of like the buzz in regards to speed. So I just thought it'd be a fun thing to bring up.
Yeah, and he called himself a cheater, but I really raced the cheater. For real. Yeah. I raced the real cheater.
Right. Okay, I got a better one for you. Usain Bolt versus you in your prime. There you go. That's a better one, right?
You gotta go use Usain.
He's the world's fastest ever. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I can say what I want to say, and I always said when I was in my prime, I wanted to race him, and we tried to set it up, and it never happened.
I wish it did.
I wish it did. Yeah, I wish I did too. But at the end of the day, if you look at it, shit, we both raced against the clock. I never ran as fast as he ran. So I can't sit here and be like, oh, in my prime, I could have beat Usain Bolt. He's faster. Me and Tyreek both ran a 40-yard dash. If y'all want to go stopwatch, I didn't run 40 at my pro day, but at my junior pro day, I ran a 4:18. But I don't even say that time because the hand time, that shit don't even matter.
I'm looking at Tyreek. He ran a 4.29. My only debate is, can he do it faster now if he was measured at the combine? Probably not. That's very hard to beat.
Who ran a 4.29?
Yeah, that's what he ran.
Who did?
Tyreek. It says on Google, it says he ran a 4.29.
Okay, so where's the debate?
There's no debate. Debate over.
There's no debate. So that 4.29 probably was a 4.32.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? Like I don't take nothing away from Tyreek. Man, that guy is hella cold. Like
freak athlete.
I love him. As a player, I love him.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? But when it comes to, and then again on top of that, another reason why I feel like if I was to race Usain Bolt, why I probably wouldn't beat him, because that's his stride. He's 6'5".
Yeah, he's got that long stride, man. Every one stride. Yeah. I mean, you're fat. Like you had the fast, smaller strides that were like the Flash, but he had that long.
Yeah, he got a long stride, but you got to think, I'm 6 foot. I still got a stride. I take off my speed. Tyreek Hill, he's short. He this. So it may look faster than what you think. Like I ran track. Like you got your guys, he got this. He's short, real fast feet, quick feet. He's fast as hell. But this don't beat this.
Right.
It don't beat that. I'm telling you. A guy that's fast and has longer strides is going to be a guy that's fast with shorter strides that's shorter. Right. I'm 6 foot. Tyreek Hill is probably what, 5'8"?
He's short, yeah.
5'7"?
Yeah.
Tyree Hill probably 5'7", 160 pounds. I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds.
Debate solved. Well, Chris, I wanted to end it off there. I wanted to have some fun there. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man. Yeah, let's hopefully get you on another time. You heard his running back must-haves. You heard mine. We dove deeper, talked a lot, and I appreciate you coming on. It means a lot. Make sure you guys follow his website, his Instagram below. I've linked it, and also his website. Make sure you get some pre-workout. Use promo code FFC. And Chris, I appreciate you coming on, man. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys. We are out.